A snowstorm snarls the holiday travel rush home for millions. Today, the cleanup after the Northeast gets iced. Travel treacherous. Airports now trying to catch up.
It's very inconvenient.
I'm Allie Bauman in New York's Central Park. This was the city's biggest storm in years. I'll have details on the dig out and ripple effects nationwide.
In the West, the Sierras slammed.
5 feet and counting. I'm meteorologist Andrew Kozak with details on what's next and who will feel the next deep freeze.
Also tonight, massive attack.
Putin doesn't want peace, and we want peace.
I'm Elizabeth Palmer in London. Tonight, Ukraine's President Zelensky heads for the U.S. to talk peace while Russia steps up the war.
Daunting challenges.
I'm Willie James Inman, traveling with the president in West Palm Beach, Florida. Donald Trump promised to be a disruptive force in his second term. New reporting tonight on how he's delivering.
Plus, the gifts no one wants.
I'm Andres Gutierrez in Burbank, California. Christmas doesn't end at the tree. For many, it's at the return counter. But where do those unwanted gifts go after that?
And later, CBS's Itai Hodge shows us the future of home automation. Meet Isaac, a robot that folds laundry and more.
This is the CBS Weekend News from New York with Jerika Duncan.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Saturday. Tonight, the holiday rush is back on as millions head home before the new year. But a major snowstorm that hit the Northeast has proven a disruptive force. Roads turned into sheets of ice, while thousands of flights, delays, and cancellations forced travelers to rethink their plans. CBS's Allie Bauman in New York leads us off tonight. And Allie, that weather is no joke.
It sure isn't, Jerika. The city got more snow today and last night than it's seen in nearly 4 years. And even though this region got less than expected, the storm still caused chaos. Today, crews de-iced planes and cleared runways at New York City's Kennedy Airport. The snowstorm caused significant delays and disruptions at all 3 major airports serving the region.
The day's not over yet. I could see it getting delayed, possibly canceled.
More than 400 flights have been canceled, around 1,000 delayed, as a record number of Americans try to get home after the holidays.
Our flight got delayed. We just had to rebook, and we took about an hour to figure out how we were going to get here.
This was the Northeast's first big snowstorm of the season. It dropped up to a foot of snow in some areas and made roads treacherous. In the West, the snow is piling up in the Sierras. Up to 5 feet of it stopped traffic on several high-elevation highways near Lake Tahoe.
We had to dig some of the cars out and create a turnaround because they weren't bringing any plows up there.
Southern California is drying out from a record-setting Christmas storm, now blamed for at least 4 deaths. The damage to property from flooding and mudslides still being added up. Here in the Northeast, the concern now turns to black ice and slick roads. Jerika, there will be 700 salt spreaders driving around throughout the night in New York City alone.
Yeah, stay off the roads if you can. Allie Bauman, thank you. Let's check in with CBS News meteorologist Andrew Kozak to find out who's getting walloped by the winter weather next. Andrew.
Yeah, good evening, Jerika. No shortage of impactful weather this weekend. Lots of colors on the map. Snow, rain, wind. You know, one place that actually is seeing a lack of all of that, California, the Sunshine State, finally getting a bit of a break from the landslides, the mudslides, the heavy rain and snow with sunshine this weekend. You know, one place that could use a little bit more snow, Park City, Utah. Utah right now seeing a very lackluster year so far when it comes to snow, and that's impacting the local economy. It's due to warmer temperatures and a weather pattern that's favoring the snow more out west. Speaking of snow, we've got a lot more for the upper Midwest, the plains, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. This system will impact the Northeast with heavy snow as we head into your Monday and Tuesday, but not before giving us some heavy wind and possible blizzard conditions for areas like Marquette, Michigan, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Blizzard warning there. That front may not be giving heavy snow to the midsection of the country, but it is going to be giving us a lot of wind. Along with that, we'll finally push some of those hot temperatures out. Today in Oklahoma City, City, 83 degrees. That is the warmest it has ever been this late in the year. We'll see some more of that as we head into the day on Sunday, but that cold air is arriving. Jerika, if you're doing any kind of traveling this busy holiday weekend, definitely pack some patience.
Absolutely. Andrew Kozak, thank you. Turning now to the war in Ukraine. Today, President Volodymyr Zelensky met with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney in Halifax before meeting with President Trump on Sunday. Now, the visit is following one of the heaviest Russian aerial assaults on Ukraine's capital in weeks. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer at our London bureau has the very latest tonight.
Good evening. It's been a cold day for hundreds of thousands of residents of Kyiv. That Russian attack left fully a third of the city without power. Last night, the skies were full of drones. Loud, ominous, and invisible. Until they hit. Terrified residents posted video they'd filmed out their windows. The attack with 500 drones and dozens of missiles went on for 10 long hours. In the morning, rescue crews were still pulling the injured from houses and apartment buildings, which were left in ruins. This, says Tatiana, makes a mockery of ceasefire negotiations. The Russians simply pretend they want peace, she said, but we all know that's just not true. Dmitro, a student, agrees. This attack proves it's all show, he said. All these meetings here, there, wherever. I'm tired of it. But Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is headed for yet another potentially decisive meeting on Sunday with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Today, he's in Canada to see Prime Minister Mark Carney. Friday night strikes, he said, reveal Russia's hypocrisy.
This attack is, again, Russia's answer on our peace efforts, and it's really showed that Putin doesn't want peace.
Complex diplomacy is the only way to end this conflict. But every day of it adds to the strain on Ukrainian troops fighting a hot war started by President Vladimir Putin almost 4 years ago. President Zelensky will be in the U.S. tomorrow with a peace proposal backed by his allies, but he has two huge challenges ahead of him. One is to get President Trump's endorsement, and Jerika, the other, of course, is to get President Putin's.
All right, Elizabeth Palmer, thank you for that reporting. Ukraine is just one of many daunting challenges confronting President Trump in his second term. Today, Mr. Trump was at his Florida home and stuck to his habit of visiting his nearby golf resort. CBS's Willie James Enman is traveling with the president and reports tonight on the concerns behind the scenes as the U.S. ramps up pressure on adversaries worldwide. Willie James.
Jerika, that includes a pressure campaign on Venezuela's leader Nicolas Maduro as the president uses the U.S. military to carry out his foreign policy goals.
I, Donald John Trump.
During his first year back in power, the president has used American military might to send messages to adversaries abroad.
We are restoring peace through strength.
Tonight, a massive show of military might in the Caribbean. The U.S. in a showdown with Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro over the country's illicit drug trade.
If he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
At least 29 alleged drug boats in the Eastern Pacific and the Caribbean have been hit by U.S. strikes, killing more than 100 people. This week, President Trump ordered a strike on ISIS militants in Nigeria, who he says were targeting and killing Christians. It comes 1 week after a U.S. hit on ISIS targets in Syria in retaliation for an attack by a lone ISIS gunman that killed 3 Americans. In June, Trump became the first U.S. president to order a large-scale strike on Iran's nuclear enrichment sites.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
On the home front, the economy looms large. The stock market seeing record highs this year while inflation cooling to 2.7% in November. But a recent CBS News poll found fewer than 1 in 5 say Mr. Trump's policies made them financially better off in 2025.
I'm bringing the prices down, and I'm bringing them down fast.
The president previously called affordability a hoax, but with the control of Congress on the line in next year's midterms, he now says pricing will be the top issue for voters.
Jerika, President Trump also says he wants to get rid of the Senate filibuster, adding that Republicans can get a lot more done with the procedural hurdle out of the way.
Willie James Inman traveling with the president. Thank you. On the CBS Money Watch, the holiday shopping season is nearly over, but another big challenge for retailers is just beginning. 'Tis the season for returns. CBS's Andres Gutierrez in Burbank, California, with new reporting tonight on what happens to your unwanted gifts. Andres, what happens?
Well, good evening, Jerika. We used to re-gift, now we return. At this UPS store, getting rid of presents is easy for customers, but for retailers, it's a hassle.
From the season of giving to the season of returning.
What's the backstory with the holiday gifts?
Holiday gifts, I ordered too much.
Shipping and shopping centers are busy with customers. This year, Americans will return about $850 billion worth of items.
Is this like equivalent to the Super Bowl and kind of an event, like how busy you guys get?
Yeah, I would say so. This is the season like we're busy the most.
The National Retail Federation estimates 17% of holiday purchases will be sent back, and 82% will return unwanted gifts within a month.
It was a gift from my brother, and when I turned it on, there was a black spot on the top of the screen.
While it's convenient for customers, retailers face a tough decision.
When I go and return something, where does it go from there?
The retailer has to make a decision of its disposition. They can restock it, they can refurbish it, repair it, they can resell it, or they can dispose it.
And those decisions impact the bottom line.
It's very costly for retailers to manage the reverse logistics, the managing of returns. It becomes very expensive for them, and it's a losing proposition.
Retailers want to avoid a rush of holiday returns next year and suggest that a gift card may be the best present. Jerika?
Or money. No one's returning that. Andres Gutierrez, thank you. New Year's celebrations will look a bit different here in New York City. The 6-ton ball was fitted with new crystals today. It will drop as usual at midnight, but then rise again, glowing red, white, and blue to mark the country's 250th anniversary. And for the first time, the ball will drop again on the eve of the 4th of July. Straight ahead on the CBS Weekend News, Michigan names its new head football coach after an off-field controversy. But first, this story.
I'm Anna Corin in South Korea, which will soon be providing rare earths and critical minerals to the U.S., breaking China's dominance.
There's an accelerating race for rare earth elements and critical minerals. They're necessary to power much of the technology we use today, from F-35 fighters to iPhones. However, the U.S. lags behind its main rival, China, in this global competition. CBS's Anna Corin in South Korea has more tonight on what's at stake.
Nestled deep in the mountains of South Korea, in a remote part of the country's east, is one of the world's largest deposits of a vital critical mineral. Beneath the surface lies millions of tons of tungsten, known as a war metal. It can withstand extraordinary temperatures, and it's something the United States desperately needs for defence. But China dominates the rare earths and critical minerals industry that America has relied on. And during the recent trade war, it threatened to use it as a stranglehold and cut off supply, which is why the US is now desperately searching for alternative suppliers.
The US is right to do this. There is no choice. The status quo cannot be returned to.
Lewis Black is the CEO of Almonte Industries. His company is reopening this mine after it was shut down more than 30 years ago, when China priced almost every other tungsten producer out of business. Tanks and fighter jets all need tungsten, as do armour-piercing ammunition, bunker-busting bombs, even AI missile guidance systems. And Black guaranteed supply on his recent trip to the White House.
The US government needs your tungsten. Will you be able to supply all their demand?
For US national security, yes.
This is not the first time tungsten has been used at the centre of the war machine. During World War II, Allied countries fought to stop the flow of Spanish deposits to Nazi Germany. In the labyrinth of tunnels underground, we are taken to the latest deposits discovered.
We want to show you what tungsten looks like in nature. I'm going to use this UV lamp, turn my light off, and as you can see, it illuminates the tungsten bedded in the rock.
Feel how heavy that is?
Yeah.
So it looks
The
like
weight of gold with the fragility of ceramic, tungsten is extremely difficult to mine. But once fully operational in the new year, this mine will produce 1.2 million tonnes of tungsten ore per year, ensuring guaranteed supply for decades to come. Anna Corin, CBS News at the Sandong Mine, South Korea.
Still ahead on the CBS Weekend News, why picket lines replaced lift lines today at a major U.S. ski resort. Now to more of our top stories in tonight's Weekend News Roundup. Kyle Whittingham is the new head football coach at the University of Michigan. Whittingham had been Utah's head coach since 2004. ESPN reports he'll be paid $8 million next year. He replaces Sharon Moore, who was fired earlier this month over an inappropriate relationship with a female staffer. Well, this is one of the busiest weekends for ski resorts, but one of the most popular is closed. Telluride's owner shut down the Colorado resort indefinitely after the Ski Patrol Union went on strike today. The union says patrollers cannot afford to live in the town they work. It's seeking a pay raise from $21 to $28 an hour. And a longtime member of the influential alternative rock band The Cure has died. Perry Bamonte was a guitarist and keyboardist, playing on 5 albums and in hundreds of shows. He first joined the band as a roadie and guitar tech in 1990. The band says Bamonte died at home in England after a short illness. Perry Bamonte was 65. Well, next on the CBS Weekend News, worried about AI? We'll show you a robot ready to take on your job at home. But first, a look back at this day in history.
That was the perfect ending this morning to a voyage that will very probably live forever.
As he lay in his hospital bed 2 years ago, Pope John Paul II pardoned the Turkish terrorist who had done his best to kill him.
Finally this evening, we are learning fast the impact that artificial intelligence is having on our daily lives, including writing our emails and driving our cars. In tonight's Weekend Journal, CBS's Itai Hod in San Francisco reports how AI is now assisting with some of our chores.
On a typical day, Philip Charette, the laundry worker from San Francisco, handles hundreds of pounds of clothes. Enough to make anyone's head spin.
The longest and most tedious part is folding the actual articles of clothing.
But today, he can take a load off with a helping hand, straight out of a sci-fi movie. Meet Isaac, a robot that can sort, fold, and stack piles of clothes with surprising precision.
It still blows my mind to think, hey, every day I get up and I go to work with a robot.
He's a bit slow, 2 minutes per item, but Philip says he's still learning.
Do you get a lot of people watching you?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. He really is a celebrity in his own right.
And Isaac is just the beginning. Neo, a humanoid by Palo Alto startup 1X, is set to hit the market in 2026. Automated helpers are poised to take the grunt work out of chores, with a global household robot market expected to soar from $12 billion in 2024 to $71 billion by 2034.
It's picking up the toys.
Kondoru says, the co-founder of Weave Robotics, the company behind Isaac, says these domestic robots are giving people something money can't buy. Freedom.
We want to make sure that people don't have to spend time doing things that they don't want to do.
The price tag, tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the robot.
The big question, can he do fitted sheets?
Fitted sheets? Oh, with the elastic band. God, I can't do those even.
And while Isaac has a few wrinkles to iron out, one thing's for sure, he'll never fold under pressure. Itai Hut, CBS News, San Francisco.
What will they think of next? Well, that is the CBS Weekend News for this Saturday. I'm Jerika Duncan in New York. We thank you for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.